Hi guys, it's Mrs. Mason here, and today I'll be giving an overview of the 5 mother sauces. So 5 mother sauces are what we call a bechamel sauce, a veloute sauce, an espagnole sauce, a tomato sauce, and a hollandaise sauce. Sauces are used in cooking, obviously, and are derived from the most part from what we call 5 mother sauces. So, mother sauces were traditionally prepared in large quantities and then they were separated into smaller portions. And these smaller portions were then combined with other ingredients and they would make um, different sauces from that. So, for example, we have the 5 mother sauces here, and this kind of gives you the sauce and kind of the base for it. So, this is made from milk and a roux, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes, what a roux is and what each sauce is. Um, but you can make a cheese sauce from a bechamel sauce or any of these other sauces. A veloute sauce, you use stock, such as chicken stock or vegetable stock, in addition to a roux. And you can make any of these sauces, a supreme sauce, aurora sauce. An espagnole sauce uses brown stock and a brown roux. And again, you could make a Chateaubriand or any of these other sauces, and there's more than just what is shown here. A tomato sauce is tomatoes and a vegetable puree, and sometimes a roux and sometimes, stock. It depends. And you can make any of these sauces as well. Hollandaise sauce is simply a butter, which is used as kind of the liquid, and a egg yolk mixture. So let's start by talking what is a roux. A roux is basically it's a thickening agent, okay? And it's made from a fat and flour. Okay, so a fat and flour is obviously a fat can be anything, but usually it's made from butter. Not always, but usually it's made from butter. And anyone want to take a guess why it's made from butter? Well, usually butter gives you the better flavor. Okay, it's a richer fat and it's a more flavorful fat. So when I say a 1-to-1 ratio here, it means it's whatever this amount is going to be equal to this amount. Now you see 4 tablespoons and you see a quarter cup. A quarter cup is equal to 4 tablespoons. Those are equivalent to each other. So 4 tablespoons of butter, you'd use a quarter cup of flour. Or if you had, let's say, a larger liquid to it, you would say a half a cup of butter and a half a cup of flour. So simply you would be melting your butter, adding your flour into it and cooking it. So you would cook it depending on what you need the roux for. The longer you cook a roux, the darker it'll become and it will take on a little different flavor. But that's basically what a roux is. And once you have a roux, you can use that in actually probably 3 of these mother sauces that we're going to be talking about. So the first mother sauce is a bechamel sauce, which is a white sauce. Okay, bechamel sauce is you take your roux and you might be adding salt and pepper, sometimes a little nutmeg, depends. But you're whisking in milk. Okay, milk is going to be the liquid you add in, and at first it's very, very thin. The liquid's very thin, and the longer it stays on the heat, the thicker your liquid will become. Okay, so if you make a bechamel sauce, you can make a mustard sauce from it. You can make a cream sauce, a dill sauce from it, and you can make a cheese sauce from it, which is what we'll be making for our macaroni and cheese. And cheese sauces are very common. Next up is what we call a veloute sauce, which is a blonde sauce. Okay, a veloute sauce. You use a slightly darker roux, so you cook your roux a little bit longer than you would for the bechamel sauce. And instead of adding milk in, we are going to add in, can anyone take a guess? Okay, anyone? You can add in a liquid, like a lighter stock, a white stock. And when I say a white stock is something like a chicken stock. It could be a vegetable stock or a fish stock. Okay, so veloute is essentially similar to a bechamel, but instead of adding in milk, we're adding in a white stock. Okay, And, you can, again, get many different varieties of things from this. You can make mushroom sauces, different herb sauces, and I use this a lot when I'm cooking. I'll make it, add wine to it as well, reduce it down, throw in fresh herbs. If I'm using dried herbs, I use less of an amount with them because they are definitely more potent than fresh herbs. But fresh herbs, I just think give it such a good, nice, fresh flavor, I guess is what I'm looking to say. But again, velouté sauce, you're using a white stock. And again, that's a very common sauce. I use it a lot. I know that. The next one is going to be your Espagnole sauce. An Espagnole sauce is a brown sauce. And instead, you're going to start with using vegetable and herbs, cooking with that with a roux. In addition, you're going to be adding a dark stock in with that, such as a beef stock. You'll also add in a tomato puree with this, and this sauce is usually simmered for a longer period of time. But you can make a mushroom sauce with that, a bordelaise sauce with that. There's a lot of different varieties you can make with that as well. Next up is a hollandaise sauce. And a hollandaise sauce, a lot of times you'll have a hollandaise sauce on eggs Benedict, if that might be familiar to some of you. But it's a butter sauce, and it's a butter sauce mixed in with, actually, the butter is the liquid that's used, and it's mixed in with lemon juice, and egg yolks are used as an emulsifying agent to bring it together and to thicken it. So when I say an emulsifying agent, we talk about that a little bit more at a future date, but emulsifying agent kind of binds those ingredients together, okay, to kind of bring it into one instead of having them separated. And like I said, hollandaise sauce can be used on other things besides egg Benedict. They could be on fish, vegetables, etc. Last up is our tomato sauce or tomato sauce. And this is a red sauce. And classically, the tomato sauce was made with tomatoes, vegetables, seasoning, and a vegetable stock, and sometimes a roux. And the tomato sauce should be thick and rich with a slightly sweet flavor. And a lot of times everyone thinks of the tomato sauce as, a marinara sauce, which is the common Italian variation. And this is usually added onions and garlic and oregano with that. So that kind of gives you the sums up of our mother sauces. And we'll be starting with our first one, making a bechamel sauce and turning it into a cheese sauce for our macaroni and cheese. Thanks.